Police say 5 people were shot and killed, including an 8-year-old boy. 5 other people in the home were not physically injured.
Our number one priority is like it's always been since the early morning hours of this morning, late last night, has been to locate this suspect and put him behind bars where he belongs.
The FBI and a number of other agencies joining the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office in the search for the suspect, 39-year-old Francisco Oropeza. Investigators say they found Oropeza's cell phone Saturday, but he was gone.
There was some articles of clothing laying around. The tracking dogs from Texas Department of Corrections picked up the scent, and then they lost that scent in the water.
Police believe it started after neighbors asked the suspect to stop shooting his gun in the front yard because their baby was trying to sleep. They called 911 to report a harassment. The father of the little boy that was killed told ABC station KTRK that the gunman first shot his wife in the doorway of their home, then went room to room. He says 2 of the other women killed protected the other children, including his infant son. The victims ranged in age from 8 to 31 years old. Neighbors say they heard the gunfire but could not imagine what happened.
I feel sorry for them. I mean, that's really, really sad. Can't believe this is happening.
Police believe the suspect was intoxicated at the time. The FBI says he's considered armed and a threat to the community. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Hello, I'm Mark.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wanted to come through and talk about this case here. There is a man, as you all see, Francisco Oropeza, who is currently on the run here in the state of Texas. Now, there was a mass shooting that happened in Cleveland, Texas, which is just north of Houston. 5 people shot and killed, including 2 women, an 8-year-old child, and I believe 2 other men. He had been out shooting in his yard, right? And he was asked to, could you stop doing it? We've got a baby that's trying to sleep. And he went on this mass shooting. Now, the FBI is helping in the manhunt for this gunman, this drunken gunman, who stands accused of shooting and killing 5 people. Now, 2 of these women shielded their children and saved their children's lives. They were killed, but they managed to save the lives of their children. Now, there's a lot of controversy right now with the father. The father managed to survive this incident. But I'll tell you what Texans are saying. They're upset with the father because they want to know how he could walk or run away while his family's being slaughtered. Because men are supposed to be our protection, right? We marry a man. I know generally in my life, if I want a man around me, I look to that man for protection, almost like a shield over me. At least you want to hope that, right? But people absolutely have that question. How could you run from that house while your family was being slaughtered inside of it? So I'm just being honest. Now, Francisco is considered armed and dangerous, and FBI Houston Special Agent in Charge James Smith has said that he is, quote, out there. He's a threat to this community, and he is not to be approached. If you see this man, do not approach him. If you have a tip on his whereabouts, please call the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office, 936-653-4367, or dial 911. Francisco, who is 38 years of age, fled after the shooting happened Friday night. And he could be anywhere at this point. Authorities have widened the search to as far as 20 miles from the scene of the shooting. Now, investigators found clothes and a phone while combing a rural area that includes very dense layers of forest, but tracking dogs lost his scent. Police also recovered the AR-15 style rifle that Oropeza used in the shooting, but authorities are not sure if he was carrying any other weapon. Now, on Sunday, the FBI shared new photos, which I will show you, including a photo of a large tattoo on the inner part of his arm. Houston FBI shared these new photos that were taken back in August of 2022. These updated photos shows that Oropeza has a more fuller frame, and he's sporting and it also shows what he looks like when he's sporting a dark brown, almost black goatee. Now, the large tattoo is a female Aztec on his left forearm. So let me show you these photos here. So that's the tattoo, okay, that he has on his arm. And that's what he looks like with a goatee. He looks a little fatter in the face, probably because, he was eating. He was probably locked up and eating. So, there you go, right? The father did a news interview. And I want to show you this because, again, the father, he's getting a lot of slack right now. And so let's just watch this and then we'll talk about it.
Here is the suspect, 38-year-old Francisco Oropeza. Authorities initially believed he was within a few miles of the crime scene in San Jacinto County near Cleveland, but they recovered a cell phone and clothing and now say he could be anywhere.
He is a threat to the community, and we need the community's help to hopefully locate him soon and take him off the streets tonight. But however, I will say this, we do not ask the community to take the matters into their own hands. Please call 911 if you happen to see this individual out there.
Oropeza allegedly opened fire inside a neighbor's home after they had complained about the noise from gunshots. Now, these are the names of the 5 people who lost their lives, according to family members. 25-year-old Sonia Argentina Guzman Talbot, 21-year-old Diana Velasquez Alvarado, 31-year-old Obdulio Molina Rivera, 18-year-old Josue Jonathan Caceres, and Daniel Enrique Lasso Guzman, just 8 years old. ABC 13's Shannon Ryan spoke to a man who survived the bloodshed, and she joins us live from San Jacinto County tonight.
Tom, truly just heartbreaking. We're at the victim's home right now where more family members have arrived, along with professionals they've hired to help clean up after the attack. An unspeakable act of violence, Barbie dolls and baby bottles strewn among the bloodshed. I can't believe what he did, Wilson Garcia tells us in Spanish. He's talking about his next-door neighbor, Francisco Oropeza, accused of murdering 5 of Garcia's loved ones inside his family home Friday night and running off, prompting a massive manhunt. Garcia tells us his wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman Taibat, and 8-year-old stepson, Daniel Enrique Lazo Guzman, are among the dead. Garcia says the man never had any problems before this. It all started when he confronted Oropeza for shooting his AR-15 closer to the family's home than usual, scaring his crying newborn son. Oropeza in turn told Garcia, "This is my property, I can shoot wherever I want." Garcia said he was calling police and headed back to his home, where he says Oropeza followed him, first shooting his wife in the doorway, then chasing after him. Unable to catch up, he went room to room, killing his family.
Everybody that was shot from the neck up, almost execution style.
Garcia says Josue Jonathan Casares, Diana Velasquez Alvarado, and Obdulia Molina Rivera were also killed in the attack. And again, the manhunt's still very much underway this evening. We actually just heard 2 flashbangs off in the distance. Law enforcement telling us They've doubled their search radius this evening. We know the gunman ditched his clothes along with his cell phone. Live in Cleveland, Texas, Shannon Ryan, ABC 13 Eyewitness.
What do you guys think? I mean, I think there's no way he could have known that's what he was going to do, right? It's impossible for him to know that's what he was going to do. Now, I mean, there was a Ring doorbell camera. Francisco has been seen entering and shooting on this Ring bell door camera. But I'm going to reserve and hold judgment on the father, because it's impossible for us to know until we get more information on what went down. It's impossible for any of us to say what we would do in a situation. But it is very well understood that, of course, fathers are protectors, and fathers and husbands are protectors of their families and things like that. But we just don't know what all happened yet, right? So I will reserve judgment. But I wonder if he would have shot him because he was angry about being asked to stop shooting his gun. Obviously, he was looking for trouble, right? Would he have went on to the rest of the family? And see, I also get why maybe the father even walked over there to talk to him, to ask him, hey, can you please stop doing that? I really don't want to get the police involved type stuff, right? Trying to give people an opportunity. But man, you can't trust nobody out here. And if somebody's sitting there shooting a gun, a neighbor or whatever, I'm not going to go over there and ask them to stop or anything. I'll let the police do that. I'll let the police handle that. But I feel like we need more information. I just feel like we need more information about what all happened. And so, but I can tell you right now, people in Texas are very unhappy with the father right now because they feel like he abandoned his family. Helicopters are out. They've got the birds out. They've doubled up their efforts. They also have the FBI helping as well to look for Francisco at this point. So, guys, I will definitely keep you posted on the story. Shout out to the Crimes and Investigations channel. I know it's been a minute since I posted over here, but I feel like I'm getting back in the swing of things. So, I know one thing. I wouldn't have walked over there without a gun in my hand. If I know he's out there shooting a gun and I know I'm going to go and confront and ask, someone to stop doing that, I'm going to probably make sure I've got one on me. But again, we don't know what their relationship was prior to this, none of that. So I'll just reserve judgment and wait to hear more details. But you can't blame the father for the acts of another man. He may have to live with the fact that his entire family got massacred and he didn't head that gunman off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to live with that for the rest of his life. I don't know. I'd be interested to hear others' opinions on this. Thanks to everybody who came through. Before I get up out of here, let me pay a bill or two, if that's okay with you, as we're getting ready to launch season 2 of the podcast. Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.